It's one of the big things facing the nation today is border. I mean, Trump 1 pretty much wrapped this problem up. Biden screwed the whole thing up, imported 20 million, let's just call them potential new voters. Sometimes they are voting.
Carl Higbie, former Navy SEAL, evening host, Newsmax.
Mark, you dealt with this from Trump 1 to Trump 2. It's solvable. Where is the will?
Yeah, that's the issue. And we've been talking about it, this weekend. And, part of the, obviously we know where the Democrats, what they did under the Biden administration. Right. So we know the invasion. So let's move past that.
Mark Morgan, veteran, United States Marine Corps, acting commissioner of CBP, special agent, FBI.
So now it's about the Republicans. Right? I say the Democrats caused the chaos and invasion. It's up to Republicans to show the political will, courage, and strength to fix it. Mm-hmm. And we're not seeing that. Right. We saw the same issue in Trump 1 where, at the time when the Republicans had the White House, the House, and the Senate, they failed to pass any meaningful legislation that closed the loopholes. Well, fast forward, Trump 2.0, same thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, Trump is doing what he did Trump 1, which is use the power of executive, action and authority, but all that can be undone. If a Democrat gets back to the White House, we're going to see Joe Biden 2.0 immediately. And so we need to get out there. We need to hold the Republicans accountable. And I'll give you an example. 95% of those individuals that come to our country illegally, they're economic migrants, meaning they're coming for a job.
Sure.
So common sense, right? We talk about common sense all the time. Common sense says, so let's attack and let's de-incentivize the largest incentive, meaning let's stop allowing people to come here legally and work. Illegally. So how about E-Verify? How about going after...
I thought that was a thing.
It's not. It's not. No. So there is no national... In fact, the Republicans will not push H.R. 2 forward.
What's H.R. 2?
H.R. 2 is the strongest piece of border security legislation that's ever been proposed. But guess what? The Senate Republicans are saying, no, we're not even going to push it forward unless we drop E-Verify.
Yeah.
The thing we need to do to de-incentivize the largest incentive, the other thing, too, is worksite enforcement. We have to hold employers who are knowingly and willingly hiring illegal aliens. We have to hold them responsible. They're not doing it. Last thing I'll say, and I'll shut up, is, we saw the first year, hey, God bless the Trump administration. So it went after the worst of the worst. So, a year and a half later, our country is safer because of that. There are less criminals and gang members and pedophiles. But the problem is, we're not going to solve the problem of illegal immigration is if the only way you're going to be deported is if you commit another crime.
Yeah.
All of us are military veterans. Jason Redman, retired Navy SEAL, author, speaker, entrepreneur. We've deployed around the world. Wherever we went, if it was someplace new, what was the first thing we did? We built a base and we created walls. And it's critical.
Common sense.
So I think people need to understand, when we talk about border protection, it comes down to two critical things that I think people need to understand: sovereignty and resources. And let's just take this to your house. Because I have friends on the left that are like, hey man, America's a melting pot. Everybody should be able to come in because that's what made our country great. There's two issues with that, and let's use your house as an example. Sovereignty. You want to know that you're protected in your house, and it's your house, it's your domain, it is your sovereign area, meaning you are the owner of that house, you have dominion over it, you're secure in it, you can defend it if it's yours. These are all the things that we have as a nation. If I suddenly told you, hey, Teddy, you're not allowed to lock your door anymore, and if anybody comes in, it's no big deal because we should just let them in. And I have some friends who are like, well, I think that's okay. Okay, well, let's now expedite that. You now have multiple people coming into your house.
You have a
4-bedroom house. Now it's resources. Suddenly, the next thing you know, a year goes by, there are 20 people living in your house and they're all eating your food. Now, maybe a few of them give back because they want to. Don't get me wrong, but the majority of them don't. There is going to be a depletion of resources at some point. Look at Europe. Perfect example that they ignored sovereignty, and now they're dealing with both resource and a lack of assimilation into the culture. That becomes the other issue. They come into your house. Hey, man, this is how I run my house.
This is our house.
Well, you know what, Teddy? I don't really like that. But you're the minority here now.
We get this, though, on a global stage. We gave, Oman a bunch of $1 million to build a border wall in their country. We build walls around bases. The Vatican has a wall, yet the Pope is lecturing us, well, border security, you should let people in. You don't need a wall. Come on, bro.
So this is one of the prongs to this, and I want to touch on what Mark said. It's like the stray cat theory. You take away the food, they'll stop coming.
Teddy Daniels, former U.S. Army infantry security consultant.
Oh, it's like feeding the
Okay,
bears
I
in
Man, tell you,
national
that's it.
parks.
It's that simple.
So, you know, I met with some DHS officials last year, and I said, how do we stop them from getting hired? And they said, well, that's an IRS issue. The IRS would go after the employers because, you know, they 1099 these people. They're driving around in company trucks, wearing company shirts, using company tools. They're not real 1099 employees. There needs to be another way to, again, de-incentivize
And
them
do you hold
coming
the
here.
business owners accountable?
Yeah, you're right,
or-
Teddy. You're right.
And landlords. I'm sorry, landlords
HSI.
as well.
It's HSI, so it's worksite enforcement, and it's they have the statutory authority to go after employers again that are knowingly willing to hire illegal aliens. Not only can they prosecute employers, which they should, but of course you get a lot of bang for your buck. So you go into a company, and with limited resources, you're going to get a lot of illegal aliens that you're going to be able to deport. So it's a win-win. And what you're doing is you're sending a message to the entire world, and just as important, you send a message to the cartels.
Yes.
Right? You're sending a message to the cartels that no. The litmus test isn't that you come in the country illegally and then you're only going to be deportable if you commit another heinous crime and take an American life. That's crazy. Everyone's got to go.
How did we go from, you know, Trump coming down the golden escalator, rapists, murderers, get them the hell out of here, to we're trying?
My understanding is after this first year that people got to the president and they're saying, hey, you're going to turn, you know, red states blue if you go after these employers because we need the illegal alien workforce. I think that's crap. I just do not believe that. And so we've got to turn around. If we don't, to your point, if we don't de-incentivize the largest incentive, and that's economic migrants coming here to work, it's never going to stop. Never.
I don't
And
think
build a
any
wall.
one of us
And build a wall.
And build a
I don't
wall.
think any one of
Yeah.
us is
Build a wall.
anti-immigrant.
Yeah.
I think we're anti-illegal immigrant because there's people that spend thousands of dollars to come to this country legally, the right way, get their citizenship. They fly American flags. They're
man.
proud to be American.
My mom's a naturalized citizen.
Yeah, but then you have an invasion to southern border where they come from countries where they're claimed they're being oppressed, but carrying their own nation's flag.
Teddy, you're 1,000%
We're not
right.
assimilated. That
Yes.
and that's becoming
the
an
problem.
issue. That's our
Teddy, you're 1,000% right. It's just like when the Democrats are losing an argument, they call you a racist,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? And so it's the same thing. If you look at history, the past, 30 years, if you look at the average number of foreign-born nationals that we naturalize U.S. citizens, it's about 750,000 a year, including every year under the Trump administration. So don't tell me this is anti-immigrant.
and they're some of the most passionate,
Absolutely.
respectable, contributing American citizens we have. So
Amen.
much so than some of the ones who are born in our own country.
Amen.
It's mind-numbing to me to see that.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.